Yeah, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and other, I guess. Welcome to the Noise Report. This is episode 8. Today we're going to be talking about two albums that we recommended last week.
Holy shit.
What?
You're absolutely blowing my mind with these facts right now.
Yeah, these are true facts about our podcast. So, last week we recommended some legendary albums. I wouldn't actually call them legendary, but we recommended Jack Stauber's HiLo. That was your album.
Yep.
And we recommended Crywank's "Don't Piss on Me, I'm Already Dead."
So, and God, if I don't fucking if I don't like put myself in a place of any fucking album title, it'd be this one.
All right. So which one we want to start off with?
Let's start off with HiLo because it's a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's HiLo is definitely an album. It's definitely an album I listen to.
HiLo by Jack Stauber is a like pop electronica.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't give it a genre.
Yeah, it's like
released. Yeah. It's released earlier 2018, April-ish, I think. So
yeah, it's pretty much as if you took like standard pop sounds and then just really fucked them. You just
put them
really,
right up your bum.
You just
put
really
them right in your
fucked
bum.
them.
Yeah.
And track 1 sort of gets you into that. Track 1 is Cunk.
Cunk. C-U-N-K. Cunk.
First of all, naming conventions, please. Very upsetting naming convention going on here. So, like, this song is... I don't know how to feel about this. Like, this whole album is just...
So the way I like to look at Jack Stauber and his work is like looking at like you can't think of it as like a certain thing. It's just you just gotta kind of deal with it, because if you've ever seen his YouTube videos or his like little short songs or even his last album, it's just so wild out there. Like you can barely understand it. There's like no cohesion, but like he somehow makes it work, which is why I think I like him so much, is because his stuff makes no sense at all, but it still sounds pleasing sometimes.
Yeah, so...
And I don't really look at these songs as if it's like a whole bunch of cohesive, like an actual album. I feel like it's just a mishmash of like a bunch of work he's done, and he's just like, I'll just slap it underneath the name HiLo and call it a day. And I'm like, yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, I get you. And this first song is very difficult to describe, I feel. Like it starts off with this crazy, weird, sort of bit crushed and glitchy intro thing. And then there's like I want to say it's an organ or like a synth organ or something.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to place any
then there's
sound.
a bunch of weird 8-bit samples, and like his vocal performance is just... So the way that I have it described in my notes is that it kind of sounds like if David Bowie and the Talking Heads just took a bunch of fucking shrooms and passed out in an alleyway or something. Like, it's just so like out there. It's so out there.
I actually love how he sings. I have for pretty much every single song you'll ever hear by this guy, you're gonna need the lyrics in front of you to have any semblance of an idea of what the heck he's even saying, because of how he speaks and sings.
Yeah,
and, I think
just...
that's the lyrics almost never make sense. The way he says them are so weird, but like it's such a enthralling kind of weird that you kind of can't help but just be like, oh fuck, that's kind of cool.
So,
and like he layers his vocals a lot too, which adds on to even more of it.
No, I wouldn't say like I wouldn't go so far as to call it cool, but I would say that it's definitely enthralling in the same sense that like you're looking at a train crash. It's like you can't look away from it. It's hideous, and you can't look away. And then the train actually crashes, but instead of it, like what you would expect with all the dust kicked up and a bunch of screaming and like the squeals of twisted metal, instead like the train disappears and there's like a really surreal painting on the ground. That's really how I feel about a lot of this music. It's definitely jamming, but like it's just so strange. It's just very
It's unique.
yes. I believe the people back in middle school would call this special. Um, in the best way possible.
Um, yeah, pretty much. That can kind of be said for every song here, including the second song, Dead Weight.
Yeah, I think dead weight is actually a great name. Because it can mean so many things. And I actually kind of jammed this one. The vocals I thought were
I really like this one.
yeah,
Not
this
gonna lie.
this
Like
one was
as an
pretty.
actual song, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight jam. Um, the drums are kind of standard, but like I feel like it actually is kind of refreshing to have kind of some sort of standard grounding unit after the absolute clusterfuck that was Kunk.
Yeah.
Um,
I said that this song has it's a really chill feeling song that gives off a lot of energy, which is
yeah,
it doesn't like the instrumental itself doesn't like give off this like epic hyper vibe, but like the way he performs, like even the deadweight chorus uh really gives it a lot of energy, which is cool. I
yeah.
like it. I like that.
On my first listen to a lot of these tracks, like the only real way that I could describe what I was hearing was combining some band with David Bowie. So for this one, I have combination of David Bowie, MGMT, and the Shins, because that's really what it felt like to me on the first listen. But on later listens, I kind of, I guess it grew into its own thing. Like, I guess the way that I'm trying to put this is the first time you hear this track, your mind is going to try and rationalize, like, well, most of the album, I should say. The first time you listen to the album, your mind is going to attempt to rationalize what the hell is going on by relating it to things that you're familiar with.
Well, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Not with
it's
Jack
really
Stauber.
it's not worth doing that for this musical project. It's just so unique. Um,
Do you know what else is unique, Justin?
Coconut Ranger, the sample at the beginning.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
That's actually like great. I think he's like talking about getting a chocolate chip cookie or something
Can I
like
get
that.
Can I get a cookie, please? Yeah, just one cookie. Coconut Ranger.
Yeah,
what the
it's just
fuck?
like, excuse me, how did you capture that in the wild?
How did you
Um,
go out there and say this to people?
Man, I really liked this song.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite part about a lot of his music, and especially this song, is his chord progressions, which aren't like standard pop, music chord progressions. The chord prog in this one reminded me a lot of actually Fez, the game. It had
See,
a very
that's
distinct style that I
that's
dug.
that's interesting. You bring up video game music because my description for the song is it's like the cave music from Minecraft with vocals over the top. And it's this song was really cool. I like how they used kind of a low key vocal at the start, and then they just kind of grew back into the very standard kind of surreal thing that he's got going on.
Dude, I love how midway through the chorus, it just like has a complete 180 in style, and it
Yeah,
just gets
yeah.
super upbeat, and there's like a guitar that's just freaking out, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the vocals during that, like at around 110 especially, uh, the vocals sound like extremely desperate, which I feel like is like really difficult to convey in music. Like desperation is just one of those things that it's more often stated rather than heard.
Yeah.
And I felt like he did an excellent job of conveying desperation, whether or not he was trying to or not. Like
Let's
it
go
just,
with he was.
I'm gonna say yes because it really sounds like he was going for it.
And not gonna lie, the ending to this song was kind of eerie. Like
Yeah, a little
it
bit,
just
yeah.
kind of changed tone a little bit, and I was like, "What?
Yeah, got a little bit darker.
My man Jackson. What the heck, man?
Jack, are you doing okay, brother?
Dude, I don't know if this guy's okay. His work, I've seen interviews or I've read interviews with from him, and apparently he gets up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and just makes music for like 8 hours straight, like every day. And I'm
Oh,
like,
so he's not okay then.
no. Plus, he makes all of his really weird YouTube videos with like the claymation and the animation, and he's a wild guy. And I love just like peeking into like what the fuck his thought process is for like anything. So he's a really interesting artist. I'll give him that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with interesting.
Uh,
Uh,
you know what else is really interesting? This next song, Leopard, which is what I like to call what is a genre in one song .jpg.
yeah,
Because
pretty much.
This
pretty
song
much.
goes through about 6 genres.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The beginning is just like kind of a post-punky bass line that's super jamming, by the way. And then it's just like a lounge jazz piece.
Yeah, it's like a
that's
jazz
awesome.
swing, and then it moves to like a rock, like electro tune.
Yeah, it's like a really frantic 70s, 80s type thing, and it's just like really paranoid sounding. And it's sort of like a ballad, like an indie ballad in there. And then like it's like, okay, we haven't had enough electro. Let's hit up some more electro, guys.
So, in all reality, I don't really like the song itself, but I do like listening to it just because I'm kind of impressed with how much he did in one song. Like,
yeah,
it's just
I don't really know what the fuck he was
wild.
thinking. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking when producing it, but like there's just so much shit going on, and it's very intricate and it's very well done.
I like how
Like-
at the end of every like verse or chorus or whatever, he'd be like like something about change, and then
Yeah.
the genre would change. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
he's drawing it all together.
You really did it. And then it kind of ends on like it ends on a different tone too. Like it goes from the electro thing to like a weird
Oh,
goth
dude, it gets
thing.
like really goth, like Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like straight up Halloween. I was waiting for the spooky music to come in, and like ghosts and shit, ghost howling. Oh man, I was ready. I was ready for it. But it never came.
It did not
so-
come.
So, you know, slight disappointment on there.
That's okay, Justin.
Yeah, track 5 kind of makes up for that. John and Nancy.
Song's fucking popping, dude.
Yeah, this is a super fucking jam.
it's
It's almost like a disco track.
Yeah, it's like I said, it has a really good funk vibe.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
got
just
that
like,
guitar that's like, and you're like, oh my god, dude, I love you.
yeah, and then like the hook is so goddamn solid. I don't know what the hell "Never Leave These Eyes" means, but like,
I like
damn,
it.
never leave these eyes.
I love
Holy shit! It's just such a jam. It's just so good.
I love how it's such an upbeat, like funky jam, and then the lyrics are literally about dreaming of losing someone you love, and you're like
Yeah.
fucking like losing your mind over it. Like I think the last verse is like, why would my mind like think this? And you're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Like why
pretty
would my
much.
mind do this to me? Like, oh my god, dude.
There's a super
Sorry.
sick saxophone in there too. Though.
Towards the end there's an
Like-
awesome sax.
Like, shout out to these guys for Jack Stauber here for knowing how to use a saxophone. Unlike my boys that kind of saturated it last week.
I'm looking at you,
Brain Tentacles.
Brain Tentacles,
Shout out to
on
Brain
the album
Tentacles.
Brain Tentacles.
On the song Brain. No, that's not on the album.
That would have been pretty funny. No, I just dig this song. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good one. I also think the next track is pretty good too, which is Beard.
Beard. Beird.
Yeah,
Beard. It's like weird, but with a
but
B.
it's a really weird beard.
Dude,
that guy.
I love the bass at the beginning here in this
Yeah,
song.
yeah. I also had that on there. The bass is super strong, super driving. Um,
And something that is really prevalent in a lot of his work on YouTube, and I think from his like last album too. Not really as much in this album, but his vocal inflections on like the verses and the chorus is like he's got like the that like he like stutters his word to like keep the
yeah,
melody going. That's so prevalent in this song, and it's really good. I like it a
yeah,
lot. Ooh,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh my
I
god,
would
Jack.
I would agree. And then he's also got like some really like he takes some of his vocal layering technique that he uses all over the place, and he just throws some like super high vocals in the background that are just very very barely noticeable, but they really really pop.
He's got an
It,
insane
like
falsetto.
yeah, he really do. He really do. And then there's like that drum and vocal part near the end of the bridge
Oh
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
transitions, and then like from that transition, I th- maybe I heard it wrong, but I feel like he was just using water droplets
It,
for percussion.
it might have been. Honestly,
And
not putting it outside of this guy.
yeah, it was just like, excuse me, man, you're just gonna drop water on me real quick.
Just pour some more water on me, please. I'm so
I'm
thirsty.
I'm thirsty.
And then I just love uh I love the different stuff that he adds to the chorus like every time it happens. And then I think the last time there's like like an angelic ooh like from him that like builds up and it sounds so cool. I'm like, Jack,
Yeah,
why you got to be this dude? He's got actually an insane like actual voice, like singing voice, and he uses it like in a wild way, but I've heard him sing like actually normally and it's really good. So I'm glad that he like literally uses the whole range that he has in his songs because
yeah.
it adds a lot. I don't mean to like jack him I don't mean to jack him off, but I do like Jack Stauber a lot. I'm gonna
Well,
jack
I mean,
Jack Stauber.
yeah, you just kind of jacked him off, dude. That's pretty gay.
Damn it. But that's all right,
Tra-
Justin.
yeah,
Or I guess I
it
should
is all
say
right.
it's all right.
Yeah, much like track 7, it's all right, which is my favorite track on the album. I fucking love this song. It's fucking
This song
great.
is super incredible. It's probably my
So
second or third.
I've probably listened to this song alone like 9 or 10 times. Like I listened to the whole album 4 times, and I probably listened to this song like 9, 10, maybe more. I don't know. I kind of lose track, but so it starts off like super laid back and just kind of like chilling
It's a
out.
super
Uh,
feely vibe.
Yeah, the vocals are like kind of melodramatic. They got kind of a little bit of that. I guess like almost opera style thing where it's just the vocals are conveying like the main emotion and not the instrumentation, stuff like that. And then there's just this crazy, I don't even know what to call it. It's just like a screeching sound
I put it as a
thing.
spacey wobbling effect. It's
It's
literally
it's
just a
just
synth that goes like and then like it's super loud and droning and like
yeah, it's incredible. The first time I heard this song, I thought it was extremely extremely jarring. Like extremely jarring. It just took me out of the moment. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? But when you look at the lyrics of the song as it relates to like where the lyrics come in, it's like immediately after he says it's all right, and the way the lyrics are fucking conveying the story from my interpretation. All right. So it's like he's saying it's all right, but things definitely are not all right.
yeah.
And this sort of screeching sample that's so in your face and loud and just overpowering represents that it's, hey, actually, even though I'm saying it's all right, it's
It
not
ain't.
all right. Nothing about this is all right. And I think that's the most compelling part about the song.
I think you can also add that on to after the chorus. There's a detuned like pluck melody that kind of
Yeah.
plays. And I think you could also add that on to that same like feeling where it's like it's not really there, but it still kind of is, and he's saying it's all right, but it's still like really not. So I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So this song is totally cool.
Also, the
Um,
piano and violin at the end is so beautiful that I could cry.
yeah, it's very, very well put together.
A very, very good song. Top two or three for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeet.
Not number one
No,
though.
I have a number one,
Fucking loser.
and it's we'll get there when we get there.
It's probably not Small World
It is
though.
not.
Yeah, track 8 is Small World.
It's a very standard
Yeah,
Stauber
I
song.
felt like it's at this point like you're kind of getting used to the style that he puts on the album. There are some very interesting production things that he does.
There's like a break where he gets like some jazz fusion going on, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, and there's just like a random saxophone flying in there, which was kind of cool. But it's certainly not a bad song, and it's
No,
certainly
it's not bad. It's just kind of, it's not like compared to everything else. This is probably the most like standard song on the whole album, just in terms of like the wildness that he can throw in.
yeah, it's very much a Jack Stauber song.
Yeah, the progression is super tight, and like the melody vocal stuff is cool, but like there's nothing that really stands out against the songs that came previously. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's mad decent. I wouldn't say it's bad by any means.
No. And then moving on to a song that I have a love-hate relationship with, Pad Thai.
All right.
I can't tell.
Give me the lowdown.
I can't tell if I hate this song or I love this song because it's so impossible to understand a single thing he's saying this entire song. Not even like for one moment do I think I know what this guy is saying. Not that that really hinders anything for me, but like I just really wish I could tell. And it sounds really cool, but like it's so out there and like forceful and loud and like using so many sounds that I just can't bring myself to be like, this is an incredible song, or be like, this is a really weird song. Though I will admit, when the chorus comes in and you can kind of tell he's saying pad thai, but it's like super robotic and like electronic, and it's just like a single synth for like a second. That sounds really cool. I'll give him that. When he says pad thai, I think it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think that's
It's like the one word you
that's-
can understand.
I'm pretty sure that's during the part that I have as he pretty much does his best impression of Nine Inch Nails.
I don't think I've ever heard a Nine Inch Nail. I mean, I'm sure I have. I just can't place it.
Oh, well, it just feels like he puts his vocals through a.
It's like
a
it's a
filter
very
that-
very electronic filter he puts it through.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's
Yeah.
actually I have written down that it sounds like it's not like somebody's actually saying like pad thai or whatever pod thai. It sounds like a synth that just kind of sounds like it's saying that. Like it's just two
Yeah.
notes that just so happen to kind of sound like he's saying it, and I think that might be why he called it that.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I have such a love-hate relationship with the song. I think it's better than Small
Oh yeah,
World.
I like it more than Small World
But
because it's more
for me,
interesting
this
to
is.
listen to.
I feel like this is a combination of like synthy industrial and like new wave, like Flock of Seagulls type stuff.
Ooh,
Like, and it's like Flock of Seagulls for one portion, and then the sound just blows up like some sort of fucking, I don't know, like a car. Blows up like a car running into a wall in a Michael Bay movie.
except instead of an explosion, there's a nice pastel painting left behind.
just really out there. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting song.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's definitely interesting to listen to.
Though we will go into my favorite song on the album, "Getting My
No,
Mom
don't do
On."
this. No, no, man,
I
no.
love this song so much.
Uh,
Let me give you a little rundown, Justin. So there is a music
okay.
video that accompanies this song, and it's hilarious. And the fact that this whole song, it was released on Mother's Day, by the way, this song.
Oh,
And
okay.
I thought it was just like a joke video that he was releasing, and I didn't know that it was gonna be on HiLo. So when I saw it, um, it's just like a random video where you can't understand a thing he's saying, but you can tell he's pretending to be a mom, and like the groove is just so funky, and like the "getting my mom on," like that whole part just kind of like I don't know, I love it so much. It's so jamming to me. I love it so much.
Uh,
What
uh,
do you hate about this song, Justin? Tell me.
I absolutely despise the lyrics.
Really?
I despise it lyrically.
Costco Connection or Cutco? I
Uh,
don't
s-
remember.
so I think the instrumental is great, but I think the lyrics absolutely destroy this album for me because it's just so suburban mom.
That's the
It's
point,
it's
Justin.
I know it's too suburban mom is the thing. You got to remember I have a suburban mom.
Dude, the
It's too much. I get enough of this at home. I don't need it.
I'm a drinking my mimosa, read "Keep Calm, Carry On" poster, driving the kids to the mall and back, listening to John Mayer, getting my mom on, like
Yeah,
slipping
yeah,
to
like,
J.C. Penney's,
that's-
having a day sale, getting my mom on. Like that's
Yeah, it's just the most infuriating
so accurate.
suburban mom
That's
shit.
why I love
It's-
it.
I hate it so much.
You
I
hate it.
can't stand
You hate
John
it
Mayer
'cause you
I can't-
relate to
I
it.
can't. Yes,
I love it
yes.
because I see the connection, but I don't have that same relation. So like I
Oh,
can look
I'm
on
very-
from the
I'm very
outside and
glad
be
you
like,
do.
"Oh my god."
God, it's just so. Ugh. God, it irks me. Irks me so much. However, track 11 does not irk me. Track 11 is Data
I love
Bend.
this song.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got like a super post-punky vibe to it. The vocals are probably the most stable of the whole album. And it also includes it includes a life-saving lyrical line in here. You know what that
Oh,
is?
what? Sorry, your voice kind of cut out. A life-saving
It,
lyrical line?
yeah, it has a life-saving lyrical line in it.
Please tell me.
Um, near let's see here. Where is it in the chorus? I'm just looking it up. It's in verse 2. It's in verse 2, okay? So it's after the first grouping of stanzas, and it's good night, my love.
Oh, the thicker thighs.
thicker thighs
Saves lives.
for my friends. Thick thighs save lives. Jack Stauber is an absolute lifesaver, and this is pointing it out. Keep an eye out for this one. But yeah, this song is super cool. I like it, and I also like that the name is Data Bend. Kind of relates to a lot of the bullshit I do in my regular life. Neat.
Got him, dude.
So yeah, this song is probably my second favorite song on the album.
Nice. I
Pretty
really
jam.
like this song a lot. He has really good transitions in his chords and melodies from like the verse to the chorus, where it doesn't really feel like it's changing from verse to chorus, but you can kind of tell the difference because of how the chord changes. I think that's really cool. And
Yeah.
there's just a ton of like dreamy synths and like just so many things going on that sound so pretty. It's like god damn. God damn.
Yeah. It's a really good song.
Yeah. I enjoy it thoroughly. A song I don't enjoy thoroughly is OUR, track 12. Or Our, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Like, there's dots, so I'm
just
just
call
gonna
it
say,
both.
yeah. Um,
Call it
the
both.
song is it's just so hard to follow, and that's not saying a lot to a Jack Stauber song, but like it's just a little bit too much for me, a little bit too much going on, and there's like no real cohesion. There are some parts that are super cool, like there's like that guitar solo midway through, but to me, it like the lyricism or the vocal melody wasn't very like catching. Just kind of annoying
Um,
to me.
I found this one to be again very new wavy, and most of the song I found pretty but I actually really did like the chorus, the sort of like spit it out, lock it up. I thought that was very reminiscent of oh man, and I'm having the exact same thing. Every time I listen to it, it reminded me of something from the 80s, but I cannot recall for the life of me what it is. And it's just it just feels so familiar to me that it was just like, yeah, nice, nice. It's certainly not my favorite song on the album, but I wouldn't say it's bad either. It's certainly better than Getting My Mom On. Sorry.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. You can be wrong.
And to finish off Jack Stauber's incredible thing, Pizza Boy, track 13. So this song is apparently dedicated to one of his like, I guess what people are saying is his like most like like you cannot deny it, his like biggest fan, who is apparently named oh fuck, what was his name? I had it written down but I forgot. Pizza Boy Anthony. So yeah,
That's a name. That's a name that might exist.
I think he was in. I think he had
S-
Pizza Boy Anthony in like one of his videos too, long ago. I don't really remember, but I
oh,
love the
nice.
acoustics in this song. It starts off with like an acoustic, or it starts off with like a sample of like people are like,
Yeah,
"What are you
it's a
talking about,
very
Anthony? I don't believe in
yeah.
destiny,
It's talking about
Anthony."
it's talking about destiny and shit. And I was like,
And
what
then
the
an acoustic
fuck?
guitar comes in, and I'm like, "Oh damn!" And then like, oh my god, the line that he sings, like it's like the main line that kind of sings throughout the the song, the does that seem right, wade through pain to know the chosen life, like oh my god, it's actually kind of deep,
That's
Jack.
that's some edgy 13-year-old shit right
Oh
there.
yeah, dude.
I love it.
Not like
That's
that.
totally my
Not
vibe.
like the album you didn't recommend was that on like steroids.
You shut the fuck up. We're gonna talk about that in a little
Yeah,
bit. All right.
I just really love this song. This is probably my second or like this one is tied for second or third with It's Alright for me. It's just got such a
It's
good
pretty
vibe.
good.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good vibes. Good vibes all
You
around.
don't know me. You don't freaking know me. Like
All right.
that's good. That's good. It's
So,
good sampling.
Yeah, it is pretty nifty
Nifty.
sampling. So, in conclusion, I give this one 7 out of 10. It's strange. Like a lot of the songs are really good, but
It's
like
not something you're just gonna show to somebody else and be like, check out this banger.
yeah, like the biggest issues that I have with this song often come out to be lyrically, especially Getting My Mama. I'm pretty sure that did more to hamper my enjoyment of this album than anything
Come
else.
on, dude.
Like, just no, like, why would you make a song about something that is just so disgusting? Like, keep calm, carry on. No. Like that, hitting that sort of shit right there. No, that's crossing a line. That's crossing a line that cannot be crossed. Don't do that to me.
Got him, dude. All right.
So,
Well, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
What?
Um,
Oh,
also,
nice.
I think it's very unique and original, even if you can't understand a damn word this guy says. My only issues with it are that it's really hard to follow, and it's like super ambitious and not for everyone. It's just like something you listen to appreciate, like the amount of work that definitely goes into making them, and not really for like the lyricism or the story being told. It's just like this dude's wild. Check this out.
Yeah.
which is why
Um,
I gave that a 7 out of 10.
I give the album art on this one a 5 out of 10. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of middle of the road. It's not bad.
Once again, it ties into the videos he released as trailers. He had, I believe there was a
Yeah.
trailer where he actually has like a physical, like that synth he's holding. He's kind of walking around with it, and he does. I don't remember. I don't. That was a while ago when I saw it, but I remember it kind of tying in. I think I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 just because it fit. He did stuff to make it like fit
Yeah,
in.
if it ties into the music videos, then that kind of makes sense. But I listen to it on Bandcamp,
Yeah.
so
It
you know.
works for what it is. I doig it.
Um,
I doig it.
so onto my album recommendation. Crywank's "Don't Piss on Me, I'm Already Dead." So for just a wee bit of background on this, not too much. Um, one of the genre tags for this on on Bandcamp is sadcore, and it's just the most fitting thing I can possibly think of. It's just so. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. It's just like the best sad boy music on planet Earth.
You're not
Um,
wrong.
It's just like, oh, do you like sad boy music? Well, if we got something for you. And it really kind of starts off that way with track one, which is "Forlorn Leghorn," which phenomenal title, by the way, phenomenal track title. That's like, talk about subversion of expectations there.
Yeah, I like a lot of the song titles in this.
Yeah. Um, so this track has a pretty standard folk instrumental. It's kind of boring, to be honest, but there's like some bongos in
Yeah,
there too.
the
you know?
percussionist on this. I don't know if it's. I didn't check into if it was just like one guy or if it was like a band or whatever. But the percussionist like just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna jam out some bongos, I guess, and set it
I think
up.
there's like later on he even like is hitting like a timpani with his like fingers. Like it's wild. The stuff that he's just throwing in there.
Yeah, I believe it.
I really
Um,
I really like the vibe. The finger plucking is super nice. It's kind of standard throughout a couple of the songs. That like finger style plucking on the guitars, and my God, dude, do the lyrics hit pretty hard about like the fruitlessness of life and like how dull it is.
Yeah,
And I'm like, damn, dude, you didn't need to touch me with this.
yeah, the lyricism is super dejected, and in a lot of ways it hits a wee bit too close to home.
Just a little
Uh,
bit.
I'm gonna just read you a quote from the lyrics here. "Much time has passed, and I'm doing the same. Staying indoors, playing video games." I mean, what? No, I don't understand what that's like at
relate to
all,
that.
dude. Yeah, see, totally unrelatable. I don't know why I brought that up. Now we talk so much hype about the track title on this. Well, I talked
Yeah,
so much
you
hype
never
about
stop
the track
hyping.
title on the first one, but track title on track two is less good. It's "Squeezing the Damp Tea Towel to its Final Few Drops."
Drips. I believe it is drips.
It is drips, and I just fucked it up because the I and the O key are really close together
It's
when I was
okay,
typing.
buddy.
That's
So
deeply embarrassing.
what a style change from the first song.
Yeah, it went from like being really low key folk, and now it's just like, oh, by the way, we're a punk band too.
By the way,
And yeah, the energy is way higher, and there's actually drums there, which is good because bongos are cool, but like not that cool.
yeah. The mastering on this track is really lackluster, and it does not fill the
Yeah.
space like at all. it just kind of
Yeah, I would
kind
agree
of
with that.
feels like they all stood in a room like 20 feet from the mic and they all played their instruments at once, and like it just kind of picked it up, kinda.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's
I
part of
mean,
their
yeah,
aesthetic. I
kind of.
think they
But a
have
lot of the
lo-fi
other
in their
songs have
tags.
pretty decent mastering though, so I was kind of shook at like how bad the second track was, just in comparison.
Hey man, they got lo-fi. They got lo-fi in their
Oh
tags. It's
man,
all
I guess
good.
you're right. Gotta take it all back.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Um.
What? What? Oh my god. What? Oh my god. All right. Let's. My grandparents are on
That's
the
gonna be
way.
an editing nightmare.
Yeet.
Okay. Well, so for this song, like, there's a stylistic change up kind of near the end, where it's like the vocals become very stuttered, and it's like absence or on gadget or garment, something like that. And it's super like quirky, and I like that a lot. Um, and my biggest issue actually in the lyricism in this whole song is why would you bring schmegma
I was
into
hoping
your
you'd
song
bring it up.
and make it so pronounced in the mix? Like, it's just like, it's just there. Like, you can hardly tell what he's saying, and then all of a sudden it's just smegma, and it's like, can you don't?
Schmegma.
Can you not do that? That'd be good. That'd be really good if you didn't do that.
No, do it again. I dare you.
No, please don't. Please, really, please don't. Yeah, so that was really kind of a hiccup. But you know, otherwise,
Yeah.
good song. Good song. I like it.
Pretty all around good.
Aside from ass tier mastering, but you know,
Aside from
that's
schmegma.
neither here nor there. You shut up. Don't talk about it.
They're all is aching.
Yeah, that's track number 3. So
Grammatically incorrect, by the way.
yeah, it's-
Wrong there.
yeah, and also it just doesn't make much sense as a phrase in general, but that's okay. That's okay. So this one has like a really groovy vocal melody at the beginning.
Oh, dude, it's fucking lit.
Yeah, it's pretty jamming, in fact. And then you know, it's very like acoustic at the beginning part, and then after the little intro bit, which I hesitate to call an intro as these songs are so short, they add more electric guitar and shit into it.
They add on
And-
to the instrumentation, and I think it feels really good. The progression that it has.
Yes, and the drums become more prominent, stuff like that. And overall, it's just pretty good song. I'd say this is
Yeah.
one of the probably the best of the first 3 track listing wise, but you know,
That's your opinion.
yeah, it is my opinion, and it's right. So there's a part at the in the last five or so lines that the vocal melody becomes a little bit more strained, I guess. And there's this one specific part where he uses the word comeuppance, and he enunciates it very thoroughly, and it's extremely satisfying to me. And I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure why, but
He comes out and he's like, "Come up." And
that's not true.
I liked how he really enunciated "come" and like paused for like 2 minutes. That was a take I wasn't expecting.
I like how you're really straining definitions here. Are you listening to it on 1% speed? But overall, this song seems to be about the narrator blaming all of his shortcomings on his drug use instead of actually just manning up and realizing, hey, wait a minute, actually, I'm.
It might be me.
It's probably me, guys. It's probably me.
And do you know what you say, Justin, when your life is in shambles and you require some assistance?
I'm in great pain. Please help me. Which is also the name of track number 4.
I dig the name of this song.
Yeah, me too. Me too. This
It's
speaks
awesome.
to me. It speaks to me.
Also, the intro guitar is incredible.
Yeah. And the vocal melody here, he just sounds like he's on the verge of like just breaking down.
Which is understandable with a title like that.
Yeah.
So, I really like the different kind of vocal styles he goes through too. It really shows off a lot of like what he can do as a vocalist. So that's pretty neat to see.
Yeah.
Or I guess
Especially
here.
especially in the later half of the song, he really starts to strain his voice a little bit, so it's almost like shouty. And it's actually some of my favorite vocal moments on the entire album, specifically when he's it's like in the last about the last 6 lines of the song is like he just like near shouting the word vitriol, which is a good word choice, very very thorough lyrical word choice here.
That's a thick word.
That's a thick vocabulary. Yeah, I like the instrumental is super fire on this song. The vocals are super passionate and very emotive. I find most of the lyrics to be extremely compelling, except for the very last line of the song, which is "Sometimes I wish I was a goat."
My last line of my notes on this song is I also wish I was a goat.
Also, on their Bandcamp page, one of their more recent reviews or whatever, like in the supported by section, is some guy just saying, "I'm a goat, less than 3."
I loved. I like that line. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, and I just felt like it was a little out of place with the rest of the song, but I suppose you can reflect upon the absurdity of the rest of it, like, oh yeah, shit is such a fucking struggle.
I wish I could just be a fucking goat.
I
dude.
wish I could just be a fucking goat and not have to worry about all of it. So it's
God,
somewhat fitting. It's just a very goofy way to end an otherwise really, really nutso song.
Not a very nutso song. Track number 5, Love.
Okay. All right.
What do you have to say about this song, Justin?
I like this song a lot.
Dude, Justin, this is tied for first for me.
This is
for my
this
number
is
one favorite song.
This is a really good jam.
My first line of my notes here. Tell me what you think. What is this legitimately normal song?
Yeah, I mean it's good. That's what it is. So like the intro starts off with like kind of a little phone call sample, but also like almost like a guitar put through like a radio filter or something.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like super indie rocky. And then it's just so good.
Yeah, it's
Like-
just legitimately a good song.
It's jamming, and the lyrics are
Dude.
also really, really good.
Dude, the lyricism is incredible on this song.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
giving this guy full credit. He went off.
Like, I would have never thought to have rhymed sex with DVD box sets.
That's incredible.
It's low key like a really genius moment on the album.
And not gonna lie, just like the feeling the song gives off based on the instrumental and the lyrics going up at the same time, like really hits a good chord.
Yeah.
To keep the pun in there that is intended.
And the lyrics in general describe a relationship that's essentially failing because it's falling into normalcy, tedium, and just general disinterest. And
As most do.
I feel like that's something that's more and more prominent in current year. um, but also of note of the song is the fucking ending line is just so fucking anthemic. I love it. It's just so fucking perfect. Like the last differential, because I know they do repeat back to uh the world sees us as a pair part, but like prior to that they like go to the it's like in the last stretch of the song and he's just like love is fucking stupid and I'll hate you.
I love that
It's just
line.
like so it's so anthemic and I just love to sing along. Sorry to my girlfriend, by the way.
Uh, not to give the vocalist here all the credit because my God was the drummer like just losing his shit on the hi-hats for like
Absolutely.
a large part of the song. I was like I was shaking at how hard he was going off on that.
Like this whole song feels easily the most cohesive or up there with the most cohesive. It's easily the most cohesive thus far on the track list.
I absolutely love it.
And it's just an absolute banger. It's fucking great. And following up that absolute banger that's fucking great, it's another one. It's another absolute banger that's fucking great. It's track number 6. It's fucking great. It's A Deer Mistaking Candles for Headlights. Great track title, by the way. Excellent.
So the first thing I noticed coming into this song was the drums and guitar and percussion and stuff kind of went back to the normal vibe we had for the first 4-ish.
Yeah.
Like track number 5 was like completely different in terms of like instrumental styling, and then it just went right back on track number 6, and I was like, I can dig that. Give me that variation. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm
And
cool with that.
this song is a total jam. A very sad jam, but it's a jammin'
Yeah.
it's a jammin' folk song. Like the lyrics are just super they're like very clear, which I like, as on some of the previous tracks they got a little bit wordy and maybe bogged down. But this, like, you can hear like you can feel the weight of every word. And that isn't to say he's going slow. It's just he's very clear on his pronunciation and stuff like that, and they're very passionate, very easy to sing along to. And sometimes they get a little strained, much like they did on "I'm in Great Pain, Please Help Me." And then like near the end of the track, it's got like this nice little, almost like a very small little post rock build up.
Yeah. I really like that build up. Everything kind of gets a little distorted too, and it was a cool effect. I liked it.
Yeah, and
It gave a nice ending.
and then he drops like some of the most poignant and oof bars right at the end. You see who I am, and that scares me.
Yeah, that's fucking
Like, oof, edgy
an oof.
boy.
That's a kind of future Trey editing this. Do you mind putting the good old Roblox oof in there?
Yeah,
Thank you.
hit that up, man. It's just a nice little oof edgy boy thing that I love.
And do you know what I love, Justin? Not only the song Love, but the song Me 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 Boohoo, track number 7. This is my tied for first place with Love.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I connect with this song so goddamn much. I'm scared. Cuz the whole song is about is just about how fruitless and like how painful it is to like write music and write stuff and just hate it and to feel like your whole like everything you do is worthless and nothing you make is good. And I'm like, stop. Stop this call out post, dude.
Real sad boy hours.
So like
But yeah, I also get much of that same vibe when listening to that song. However, it makes me uncomfortable, so I don't like it that much.
I love this song.
It's like, hey, wait a minute, I feel like you're yelling at me. I don't like when you're yelling at
Yeah,
me. Can we go back to being sad together?
The worst part
please?
is he's yelling at himself,
I
and
know.
just because we're also musicians, you could just kind of put yourself in his place, and you're like, God damn it, Not again. Um,
It,
I love the instrumental and like the chord progression in this song, and I think it just really fits well with the lyricism. So,
I would agree.
oh my god.
I would agree. It's a pretty solid track. Also, the bass is a little more present in this track than it had been in previous tracks, with the exception of Love. The bass is definitely there on Love, but on most of the other tracks, the
Yeah,
bass
most of
has
the other
been
tracks
almost
he's
it's
been on the he's on the down low.
yeah, he's almost non-existent. Um, track number 8. I'm gonna say this is a partner track
To Love?
to Love.
I have that down too.
As it's Hate, and everybody likes talking about those two together in conjecture.
Yeah, I actually have that. This is it's a nice counter to Love.
Yeah.
Because this is a bit more heavy with the bass riff and has like
Yes.
darker lyrics.
Yeah, the bass is actually
Love felt
super
more
good.
like a false love song, and Hate feels like the counter to that false love song, where it's like actually a hate song, and
Yeah.
which they titled it that way, so I'd hope so.
And I actually like this track a lot. It's probably my number 3 track. I want to say Dear Mistaken Candles for Headlights is number 2. Love is number 3. Well, it's actually a bit of a toss up now that I think about it more.
Don't try to throw them in order, dude. Just pick a number one.
It's hard. It's hard. But this one's up there. This is definitely in the tracks that I enjoy. Mostly because it reminds me of me in like the end of high school, first 2 years of college. It reminds me of myself so deeply that it's almost shameful.
Can I get another Roblox oof in there, Trey?
Hit me up with another oof. It's real sad boy hours.
I mean, I don't really have that same emotional tie to these songs, or at least that same feeling, but I do appreciate them for the music that they give. And
Yeah.
my God, the instrumentation on the chorus in this song, there's like the drums are going super hard on like a drum fill, and there's like a ride cymbal going with it, and it just it feels like hate.
Yes.
Is the best thing I can say.
Also, the vocal melody on the chorus is actually just incredible how much emotion he conveys in his voice, like while still holding the tune. Like he's like on the verge of breaking down, and he's just powering through that shit. That like blew my mind the first time I heard the song. I was like, how are you not just dead?
Damn, dude, we picked out some fucking talented emotional singers.
Yote, brother.
How to use your voice to make people feel things. A biography by Jack Stauber and whoever this guy is. I don't know his actual name.
It looks like James Clayton on the Bandcamp page, but they've got backing vocalists too. So
fuck that guy. Because you know what, Justin? Fuck that guy. Because your own worst enemy, critic.
This name doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but that's okay.
Your own worst enemy, critic. Back to that standard guitar drum style that they've had for the past couple songs.
Yeah.
Aside from Hate.
Yes.
And Love.
It's very low key, very much on the down low.
You know, Justin, you choose what you choose. You choose what you choose. You choose what you choose.
Yeah.
You choose what you choose.
Yeah, I didn't like this song very much, to be honest.
This is probably might be my lowest on the whole album.
This is my second lowest on the album. It's pretty weak. The ending's kind of cool. But
I actually really didn't like the ending.
Oh, really?
I thought it sounded kind of bad, not gonna lie.
I thought it was just like very serene.
I think the thing I didn't like about it was the vocals had like a reverb on it, and the reverb just wasn't sticking well with me because it was like the first time that was showing up, and it was with that slowed down slow guitar, and then it just, I don't know, it just felt out of place, and sometimes his voice felt like it didn't hit the right note, so then the reverb just kind of echoed it, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I get you.
It's not like I think it's a terrible song. It's just not a very good one in my eyes.
Yeah. So on to the next track, which is track 10, Self-ish.
Parentheses around ish.
And this song, I'd like to make a quick shout out to the lyrics in this song for literally the first lyrics uttered, dropping the phrase, I guess, and noun and descriptor, lawn gnome. Ooh, hell yeah, brother, get it.
Absolute legend.
Absolute unit over here. Absolute lyrical unit. This song is again extremely tortured. Like, the vocalist just sounds like he's like about to just fall on the ground and start heaving.
Maybe he was. Maybe he, right after the song was done recording, maybe he did.
I mean, he might have. Lyrically, the song is like about being fucking useless in a relationship and just blaming your significant other for all of your problems. And that is not something I can sympathize with or even relate to, but damn, does he do a good job of conveying it, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like the song was still with that standard feeling of most of the other songs.
Yeah.
And then one thing I could not stand in this song in particular was the mumble talking sample that plays like in the middle towards the end. It's just a sample of like a dude going like
it's really,
and then like it
bizarre.
just didn't fit. It didn't make sense. But I love the percussion and like the darkness of the end, like of the ending, with how the instruments get all like gritty and heavy, and that was super good. But then like right before that, the selfish stuff really hit bad.
Yeah, so pretty good. Not awful. Unlike this next song.
So if I was to say your own worst enemy critic is like one of my least favorite, Baby Self-Absorbed, track 11 is my least favorite.
Yeah, this song is actually okay, so the instrumental, decent. It's decent.
I like the instrument. The instrumental has been solid throughout the whole album.
Lyrically, this song is absolutely indefensible. There's no excuse for this song being created. This is actually just straight trash, especially when you look at like the lyrics on like Love, for example, or even on like
you could look at any song on the album.
Look at any other song on the album, and this song is just like, what the fuck were they thinking?
If I could take a song out of this album, it would be this song, and the whole point would be added.
Yeah, honestly, like legitimately, this song is fucking trash, and I'm sad to say that I had to listen to it more than once for this fucking review.
The only thing I liked about it was the instrumental, and especially during the chorus when like the heavier or harder guitar hits come in. That is like the only part I enjoyed. If I can get an instrumental version of this song without the vocals, it might be good.
Yeah, but as it is right now, this shit makes me want to fall down a hole.
Because we know Baby doesn't know what Baby's thinking about Baby in Baby. Future Baby.
That makes me want to kill myself just thinking about that shit.
You should try killing yourself, Justin, by falling down a hole.
It's almost like 12. I tried to make a transition to that earlier and you didn't let me.
Rip. I saved it, though.
Yeah. Track 12 is Falling Down a Hole. I fucking love this song.
Can I just I don't know what your first line is for your notes, but I heard the first like 5 seconds of the song, and the first thing I wrote down was, "Wow, what literal British punk music."
I'll fucking send you my first line. I'm gonna just send this to you because
right.
This is pretty legendary, and I typed this out.
I will read it. Jesus Christ, where did that come from? Or where did that come? You didn't write from.
Yeah. I didn't even write from. And
He was so shook.
for more context, the Jesus Christ is all caps and with spaces between each letter. I took the time to type that.
Okay, hear me out, Justin. I love the part of this song where he shits on Jar Jar Binks
Yeah.
and pay to play mechanics in games, which I think is like a protest or like in reference to like the Star Wars Battlefront, but not 2, because this album was released in like 2016 or 2014, 2016, and Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 1 was released in 2015, which did have pay to win in that also. So I feel like they just randomly were like, "Fuck you, EA."
So
And
this, yeah, pretty much. But like this song is, it's super, like it's so out of nowhere on the album, and all
it's
of
so
the
weird.
all of the lyrics are just so fucking goofy, and such a parody of like the genre that they're pulling here. Like there's
Which
the
is
line that's
British punk, by the way.
like, yeah, British hardcore punk. And it's like, there's a part that's like, now I'm a punk band from the sticks, anti-capitalist, big break, big tour sponsored by energy drinks, which is so true. It's so true of punk bands. They're like, yeah, I don't give a shit about any of that. And then suddenly it's like, by the way, drink some Monster, guys. Or like even the fucking Vans Warped Tour. It's sponsored by a shoe company, and you got all these like hardcore punk, I'm super anti-establishment guys. Ooh.
I
mean,
I absolutely love this song.
Yeah,
just
this is-
because it's so wild.
it's so great. And one of my favorite parts of the song is it just ends on a fucking squeaky toy.
Yeah.
It's so
thought-
fucking funny.
I thought like one of my cats had come down with their toy. I was like, what?
Excuse
But
me?
no. It was the song.
But like low-key, this is a really close draw between this one and Love for my favorite track on the album.
I
Like,
think this is my favorite in terms of just being a song.
yeah, it's
But,
just so
like,
fucking goofy.
on the album, Love and Me are my tied first. This is my second for sure.
This one's just totally a jam. I it's really enjoyable, and it's super short too. It's like a minute and 20 seconds.
I really dug it. And Justin, I really dug the whole album. Overall I give this baby a straight old 8 out of 10. It could have been a 9 out of 10 if Baby Self-Absorbed would have been good.
Yeah, shout out to Baby Self-Absorbed for being literal ass, like literally cancer.
Just worthless. I really love the lyricism in almost all of the songs except Baby Self-Absorbed. The guitar for most of the tracks, the guitar is super repetitive, but the drums kind of pick it up because the drums are almost never the same throughout every song. And this dude's got an incredible like vocal inflections. He's got a nice sounding voice. It's super fun to listen to. Like, it was all around just a really good time.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. And that's mostly because sad boy music is my shit. I love sad boy music. And there's a lot of really fucking just total bangers on this album. But then there's two really, really bad eyesores in Baby Self-Absorbed, and Your Own Worst Enemy Critic is pretty bad too. But overall, it's just got some really good fucking sad boy hours. You know, it's real sad boy hours when you're listening to this album, which is something I can really fucking get behind. Shout out
me
to the
too,
real
dude.
sad boy hours.
It's half of the shit I recommend.
But one thing that I cannot recommend is this album art. The album cover art is absolutely hideous.
What the
It's
fuck
0 out
is
of 10.
this? That
0
is
out
an
of 10.
honest
It's
0 out of 10.
literally the worst album art I have seen in my entire life, and I've seen quite a bit of album art.
I wish I could describe what it is, but you can't.
It's just
It's like if somebody shit into a television screen that's on the static because it can't find a channel, and they just mushed it around and it like became kind of brown, and then like some kid decided to draw their interpretation of of a Squidward angel, and like but his feet are clouds. Like, there's no way to describe this
Yeah,
without
it's-
sounding like an actual lunatic. It is trash.
It's
Trash album
fucking god awful.
Though I do
Probably
like seeing
the
the words
worst part of the
Crywank
album.
in big red letters.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty satisfying. So, what do you have for next week?
Justin, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I'm about to at least take me back. Might be taking you back a little bit. This is I'm recommending It's Murder by Mayhem.
I have never heard anything by Mayhem.
So,
Well,
fellas,
that might not be true. I've heard of a black metal band called Mayhem.
No, it is not the black
Yeah,
metal band.
I didn't think so.
It is, boys. Let me give you a little insight. Mayhem is one of the many aliases of Lapfox Trax, the furry artist who kind of fell off the face of the earth because he's kind of a dick. But he kind of defined the music that I listened to in high school because of my boy Sam, and I wanna go back and enjoy some of my high school days. So I'm recommending It's Murder by Mayhem.
All right. Well,
It's a pretty long album too. Or it's like 50 minutes, but there's like
that's not too
17
bad.
songs.
That's not too bad. I'm recommending Out of It by Brad Sucks.
Out of It?
Out of It by Brad Sucks. This
Brad
guy
does suck.
So this guy's name is Brad, and it's his band. It's a solo project. As far as I know, he does all the instruments. He's got a website. Yeah, you can get it for free there. That's kind of cool.
That's nice.
Also, I should have mentioned you can actually get the Crywank album for free as well.
Damn.
It's a name your price of $0.
Oof. That's good for us, bad for them.
I mean,
it's good for everyone actually.
It's really good for everyone because then one day when I've actually got money, I can give copious amounts of dollars to Crywank directly and be like, "Thank you for inspiring me to be sad."
So, Justin, I'm not sure how you feel about the idea, but I would love to get a friend on the podcast soon to review an album with us. Maybe after next week. I don't know. How do you feel about that, pal?
That sounds pretty good.
We've got a couple people who've been asking, and I'm like,
we've got people lined up out the door actually.
Yeah, I mean, oh, man, Benny Benassi, the dude who wrote that Animals song, Martin Garrix, that's his name. Like all the big name producers want to get in on this.
Yeah, we've got
not to mention the lead singer of Metallica has been begging me.
James Hetfield has he won't
he has
stop
not
calling.
Stopped emailing me every single day.
It's
getting annoying.
I've talked to Weird Al. Weird Al has talked to me about it. He's like, "Yeah, I want to be on your podcast, man."
Yeah, but Weird Al. I mean, I'd love to have him on, but that guy's it's a little strange.
Yeah, I guess you could call him a little weird, huh?
I mean, I guess you could. So, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of The Noise Report. As you know, we have social media. I'm at TheRealHeSuya, both for Twitter and Twitch.
I'm pretty sure you can find me at Crescent Commie on Twitter, but honestly, I'm not that sure. I just use the mobile app. I don't need to sign in.
Not to mention the Noise Report Twitter has itself. I believe it's Noise Report Cast. And check that stuff out. Check us out on iTunes. It is there also. Trying to stay on Spotify, but it's a little hard because it costs money and we don't make money doing this. So
it's a passion project. That being said, you can donate to our 26 Patreons. And
yes, one Patreon for every letter in my name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Catch you next week. Should be a great time.
Catch you then, baby boys. Remember to only listen to the song Baby Self-Absorbed.
No.
It's the best song on the album.
You're wrong, though. You're definitively wrong, and you know it.